Taking deadlines to make deals to an entirely new level, the Dallas Cowboys and Dak Prescott have gotten a contract extension done mere hours before, not even an hour, less than 2, frankly, before the Sunday Week 1 NFL games kickoff. It is a 4-year, $240 million deal. That is $60 million per year. And most notably, $231 million of that being guaranteed. Not quite the fully guaranteed contract Deshaun Watson got, but also pretty damn close to it as well. We will break down the contract, and we'll be live in a couple of hours, too. Truly, I walked in the door with the pizzas for today's office for the Sunday games, and the Dak deal got this. I actually am mad at the Cowboys for not being a normal team and doing this on like a Saturday or when it wouldn't have been right up against the gun for Week 1, but Cowboys news happens. We have you guys covered. Hit that sub button so you don't miss out. It's youtube.com/CowboysTV. So Dak Prescott now takes, for now at least, the number 1 spot among the highest paid quarterbacks. A lot of new deals on this list, right? Jordan Love got this offseason, Trevor Lawrence this year, Joe Burrow last year, Tua this year, Jared Goff this year, Herbert last year, Lamar last year. Hurts and Murray are the 2 older contracts on this deal. You'll see other players get on this list. Ignore the Mahomes. It was kind of super weird, and just pretend it doesn't exist. It's such a unique contract, and it's also kind of fully guaranteed, but ignore it. Josh Allen might like this news a lot, by the way. He's not that far away from a new extension. What is most notable to me is not the average per year. That's one sticker shock number that actually isn't as sticker shocky as you should expect. We'll get to that in a little bit. The guaranteed money is significant. I don't think it's an accident Dak Prescott beat out Deshaun Watson by $1 million on that. Now, Deshaun's deal was fully guaranteed. Dak is not. It almost is fully guaranteed. This is not a quarterback who's going to be going away anytime soon. As of filming, and maybe it's out there somewhere and I just haven't seen it, I have not seen anything involving the no trade clause, no tag clause, whatever, but I would anticipate that. I'm curious how that plays out. Because if there's a no trade clause, it's, Dak got everything he wanted once again, or at least Dak's agent did. So grade this deal for me. We'll go more in depth on this here in a little bit. A, B, C, D, or F. Let me know at the pinned comment of today's show how you feel about the contract. A, B, C, D, or F. I will not be giving this deal an A. And a lot of these graphics we had built in preparation of the show. That one was never going to change, regardless of how much you actually gave him. And in the end, you saved money doing this now versus doing it, in March of next offseason. Yes, this keeps your top 10 quarterback in the fold, and that's probably a good thing. And yes, it keeps your window open for the next 4+ years, I guess 5 years, including this year, to win Super Bowls and stuff. Yes, it saves you money versus next season doing it in the offseason. Could have done this in March. And that is where I have my biggest issue. Honestly, your core is actually pretty good. Among the NFL teams, I think you have a top 10 core built in. Why didn't you do this in March? Last March, not upcoming March. We haven't seen the nitty-gritty contract details here. By doing this deal now, you're going to probably free up salary cap space this year and probably pretty decent chance next year because the way that the dead money from the last contract now gets spread out more. It goes off in the future, does not accelerate. This is the exact same thing with CeeDee Lamb. You could have used that money to help your roster now. If you are committed to winning with this core, why didn't you do this stuff months ago? Why? Making moves in August and September to add 2 veteran defensive tackles, to add your starting running back or RB2 after the NFL draft, to pay your superstar wide receiver, pay your top 10 quarterback. Those moves are not all in. I feel better about 2025, 2026 right now, but I don't have any change whatsoever to 2024 because you missed the window. That race done been run, baby. It's too late. You've let that play out already. You made a mistake dragging it out as long as you did, which you originally made a mistake years ago, dragging it out multiple years the first time Dak got paid. More thoughts on this to come, but today's show is made possible by Prize Picks. You still have time to get in on America's #1 daily fantasy sports app. Over 5 million active members before the Week 1 games kick off. One Caleb Williams passing yard gets you one win on Prize Picks every week in September. It's an automatic win. It's 4 weeks of free W's. You can now win up to 100 times your money on Prize Picks with as little as 4 correct picks. And it is available in states like California, Texas, and Georgia. One of my Prize Picks slates for this week, I've got Dak Prescott more than passing yards, CeeDee Lamb more than passing yards, and Caleb Williams, the freebie, a half passing yard. So download the Prize Picks app today and use code CLNS and get $50 instantly when you play 5. That's code CLNS on Prize Picks to get $50 instantly when you play 5. You don't even need to win to receive the $50 bonus. It is guaranteed. It's Prize Picks. Run your game. You have the second-team All-Pro quarterback, the runner-up and MVP, now under contract for the next 5 years. It's a 4-year extension, so you're going to get the 5 years. So that's why when we were talking about Jerry and Dak on Thursday's show, and people were like, oh, he means 5-year extension. I'm like, no, I think he just means it's a 4-year extension tacked onto the 1 year that is remaining. And in all honesty, just signing the deal instead of allowing yourself to reach free agency kind of actually is team friendly. He would have gotten more had he stayed healthy, played at his top 10 level, and hit the open market. Steelers, Giants, Raiders would have been throwing money at him. The sticker shock is real. I totally get it. Nothing the Cowboys have done, paying Dak Prescott, paying CeeDee Lamb, actually precludes them from spending more money than what they have previously. In fact, the Dak deal isn't really that much of a pay boost. Relative to the salary cap when signed, Dak Prescott's $60 million a year figure checks in just under 23.5%. For reference points, when Dak signed his $40 million deal, it was just over 22.5%, or just under 22.5%. So you have basically given Dak, adjusted for inflation, and shrinkflation, I guess, if you want to do that too, a 1.5% pay raise. Does that really change how you're going to be able to build your roster? No. You have to adjust your actual strategy behind it. The free agency deal, had Dak hit the open market, would have been insane. And like I mentioned previously, this Cowboys core is actually very good. You don't have that many big contracts. It's Dak, it's CeeDee Lamb, it's Trayvon Diggs, and maybe Terrence Steele. Those are the only guys you've actually paid right now. Zach Martin's deal is up. Tank Lawrence's deal is up. Cowboys are actually in a position to spend on other players. It could be their own core or outside guys for once in their damn lives. They have the ability to spend more if they choose to adopt that strategy. So give me your one-word reaction to the deal. Dak Prescott, record setter. Overdue. Bad strategy? That's actually 2 words, but I digress. Let me know in the comments of today's show. We haven't seen the details of the nitty-gritty yet on Dak Prescott's deal. I would assume, relative to the big cap hit next year and the cap hit this year, either not going to change or you'll probably save money over that time frame. The Cowboys, for next year's salary cap, are in line to have some of the most money available. So they need to actually be aggressive. You have set up your window. Because I don't know how much more be into a 4th contract Dak's going to continue to play at the high level. I think, after that, by the time he gets to 5 years from now, 6 years from now, getting up there in age, I don't know how well that game is going to age. Brady and others are the exceptions, right? So you need to be aggressive next offseason. You have your window. I think we know how this 2024 season that's about to kick off in 3 hours is going to go, or 4 hours, whatever. You're not going to be good enough. I think you've built the 3rd or 4th best NFC team. Depending on who you get in the playoffs, you can maybe get beyond that, maybe come up shorter than that. So next offseason, you've set your core. It's Dak. It's Lamb. You got to figure out what you're going to do with Micah Parsons. You have a young offensive line, young players not due for extensions. You have to be aggressive. You have to spend in a way you haven't spent in previous seasons. I still have my doubts they choose to adopt that strategy, but the core is now set, and it is a good core.